sequels. So what happened was aliens actually tried to fuck with me, so I naturally sent all of NATO after them, and we killed an entire alien race just so they wouldn't fuck with us anymore, and you know, trying to always steal our trades in Growtopia and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know if you want to tell this stuff to your kids. I mean, they might become a bit strange. They might not have many friends in school. That's what happened for me, for sure. I heard all these stories from a random bum I met on the street. Okay, so first, Nigeria actually became the world's leading superpower. So they discovered quantum cold fusion. So you know, obviously they had cool weapons and shit. And then they got like plasma technology from the aliens I mentioned previously. And that's why we really killed them, because we just didn't want Nigeria to have cool weapons. And then Nigeria actually turned out to be a whole nation made of aliens. So we're like, well shit, we gotta exterminate these bastards. And Nigeria actually moved to Wakanda, and that's, you know, why there's like a whole movie of them. That's actually the continuation of Who Killed Captain Alec, which was a Ugandan movie. Very good, I recommend it. And what happened was Uganda basically got bombed to shit, so there's no more Uganda. South Sudan actually took over most of Europe, so you know, that's why we're called South Sudan of the North. And Iceland actually took over Canada and the United States. Wait a minute, if I tell you all this, will this like mess up the timeline? Yeah, whatever, I was only brought back here to like save the world or some shit, I don't know. And yeah, so where was I? Yeah, Iceland takes over Canada and of North America, but then Mexico sets up like the what was it called in the Second World War that French put up against Germans? The Maginot Line. Yeah, they like put up a Maginot Line in like the fucking Bay of Mexico, and there's like a huge space battle there. They occurs in like Cuba and shit, you know, and during that space battle, John F. Kennedy is actually killed. Yeah, it was pretty sad. Everyone press F in chat right now. We actually do that still. So, John F. Kennedy dies. Let's see. Lenin got sniped. Yeah. And there was this one 9-year-old hacker from, I think, Russia, who was just wrecking everyone and basically ruining all the fun for everyone else involved with the war. And then the Cubans got kind of pissed at him, so they threw him out of the war. But then the Russians got pissed because, you know, their MVP was kicked. And then their whole team actually left, and it was kind of sad because there was like only 40 nations now, you know, in the war and stuff. Oh yeah, there was that. So the Russian Jew Federation actually rose up against the oppressions of the unicorns and the narwhals. You know, the narwhal unicorn nation was actually pretty cool. There was like free tacos there, but I don't know. That's what I heard anyway. Would be really nice to have free tacos, you know. They cost like $2 where I'm from. And I'm told that between those tacos there was like shrimp, there was like fucking lobsters. You could get anything between those tacos. So it was a real paradise. But you know, they were oppressing the Russian Jews so that they couldn't eat tacos and whatnot. So they moved to Mexico and actually helped set up the Maginot Line. And that's a major reason of why Mexico was able to hold off Uganda and the Iceland. And this fucking spy is trying to interrupt me. Okay, so hold on. Let's see what else there was there. Yeah, there was the Danish uprising against South Sudan, but that only lasted for a few hours, and basically all the Danes got bombed to shit. There's like 5 Danes remaining, and they're all in prison camps. But enough about that. I actually know one of them. He's my grandpa, or so it tells me. Actually, that would make me... Yeah. That would mean I was 473 years old if he was correct. But then... Oh yeah, Vietnam just got instantly fucked by... Hold on. Who was it? I think it was... I'm actually just looking like at a map of the world and like small nations. My most embarrassing experience. Nah, mate, most of those battles that I was talking about were space battles, so... Sea battles are basically over, you know, there's no more sea, it's basically just evaporated when they were bombing Uganda, so that was kinda it. And then Filthy Frank actually came back. Honey? Yeah, that was actually a big part of the Battle of Mexico Gulf and its defense and shit from like the contingency and other shit in Stellaris, but enough about that, you know. And then in Alpha Centauri was actually another great battle between Mexico and fucking space crabs. But you know, that was a pretty minor occurrence, you know, the Mexicans basically just raped their whole species. That was, I mean, all of them looked like fucking crabs, obviously they would be raped by Mexicans. Ironically enough, since, you know, like, for most of history, you know, US has been raping Mexicans, since not the other way around. And yeah, the aliens tried to steal the technology of instant tacos and free coffee from the Mexicans, but they held it back and, you know, destroyed their whole species. And let's see. Oh yeah, and then there was a time war between the Daleks and the fucking North Sudan, I think. But the Daleks obviously lost, because, you know, there's no fucking with North Sudan. And yeah, that about concludes it. And then what happened was Finland actually won the whole thing and became the major power in the world and conquered every other nation, and then they became totalitarian, and Warhammer 40k just basically happened. And yeah.
Orang aneh gila bangsat lu.
Alright, but I think... What are you talking about? China doesn't exist in this timeline. Alright, but that's all the time that we have for you today, so follow me next time as we get into the fucking Pegasus uprisings of Laos and the fucking... I don't know, man. It's like 8 in the morning. What am I doing? Yeah, next time on Dragon Ball Z, the fucking Pegasus uprising of fucking Stockholm or something. I don't know.